Welcome to this explainer. We're diving straight into what just might be the ultimate cosmic mystery of our time: UFOs, hidden dimensions, and the very fabric of human reality. For decades, this subject has existed right in the shadows. It was trapped between secrecy and ridicule, whispered about in private, denied in public, and just buried beneath these heavy layers of speculation and fear. But as we'll see, that shadow is finally lifting. We're moving past those old decades of secrecy, fear, and, frankly, ridicule to confront an undeniable truth. Something impossible is sharing our skies. The sheer volume of sightings across the world has completely changed the conversation. The question is no longer whether something unexplained exists. That debate, it's over. The real, awe-inspiring question we have to ask ourselves now is, what exactly are they?
Part 1. The Enduring Mystery. It's time to strip away the stigma of the unexplained. Let's kick things off by looking at the physical reality of a phenomenon that literally transforms the witnesses who encounter it. We've got this rapid momentum of physical evidence building up that you just can't dismiss anymore. We're talking about lights moving impossibly fast and objects that absolutely defy our known laws of physics. Witnesses report craft making sudden appearances, instant disappearances, moving in absolute silence, and seemingly completely unaffected by gravity or inertia. These aren't weather balloons or simple misidentifications, right? They represent a mastery over the physical world that we just cannot replicate. Moving right into Part 2, Echoes of the Ancients, where we connect this modern mystery to a forgotten history. Because here's the thing, the phenomenon itself might never have actually changed. Long before modern technology, ancient civilizations were already describing glowing beings and fiery wheels coming down from the heavens. In mythological eras, legends across so many different cultures spoke of sky beings teaching humanity architecture, astronomy, and profound spiritual wisdom. Ancient humanity simply interpreted these incredible encounters through the language and the concepts they had available at the time. They called them gods, angels, spirits, or divine visitors. Today, in the modern era, we just call them UFOs. As the slide says, sacred texts spoke of fiery wheels, shining chariots, celestial messengers, and luminous entities emerging from the sky. When you look back at these ancient records, and you see ancient structures aligning perfectly with impossible celestial patterns, alignments that are incredibly difficult to explain if they only had primitive tools, you really have to pause. We have to ask ourselves, is this just mere coincidence? Or are these the echoes of a forgotten history of contact? Which brings us to Part 3, Beyond Space and Physics. We're shifting the paradigm here from outer space to inner dimensions. So we're forced to confront two massive paradigms to explain these sudden, silent appearances. The traditional theory suggests extraterrestrial craft traveling from distant civilizations far beyond Earth, crossing billions of light years of outer space. But the alternative is frankly staggering. What if it's interdimensional? What if they are beings moving between hidden layers of reality, not actually traveling through space at all? Are they crossing the dark void of the cosmos? Are they slipping through invisible frequencies right next to us, stepping out from layers of reality that are just currently hidden from our everyday perception? To really wrap our heads around that interdimensional concept, we have to talk about the frequency of reality. Ancient mystical traditions taught that reality contains dimensions way beyond our visible world. Think of human perception as operating within a very narrow band of awareness. It's kind of like a radio tuned to a single frequency, right? We only hear the station we're currently tuned into, but that doesn't mean other stations aren't broadcasting simultaneously in the exact same room. If our minds are like that radio, these awe-inspiring UFO encounters might simply be moments when different frequencies of reality briefly overlap. So perhaps these beings aren't arriving from elsewhere. Perhaps they've always been here. And that leads us perfectly into Part 4, the architecture of mind. Let's explore the ultimate communication tool. Okay, this is where the nuts and bolts fade away and we enter the deeply mysterious realm of human consciousness. When these overlapping frequencies occur, witnesses report some truly profound effects. We're talking missing time, heavily altered states of consciousness, intense energetic sensations, and just absolute emotional overwhelm. These aren't merely the physical, mechanical effects of a machine or an engine passing by. These deep, transformative symptoms strongly suggest a direct, intentional interaction with consciousness itself. And during these encounters, history shows that contact often completely bypasses spoken language altogether. It's wild. Witnesses consistently describe receiving thoughts,
Vivid images, complex emotions, and even sudden bursts of deep knowledge transmitted directly into their minds. It introduces this disturbing yet beautifully profound possibility. What if a highly advanced intelligence doesn't use screens, radios, or technological interfaces to talk to us? What if they communicate entirely through the architecture of consciousness itself? Which brings us to our final chapter, Part 5, The Modern Awakening. Let's ground this massive mystery in present-day reality. For the longest time, the answers remained totally hidden from us, but an awakening is happening right now. Highly trained military pilots are stepping forward to describe craft moving way beyond any known human capabilities. Advanced, state-of-the-art radar systems are detecting these impossible maneuvers with hard data, and government officials are finally, publicly admitting that something unexplained truly exists. The mechanical tools of our modern world are finally validating what ancient mystics and breathless witnesses have literally known all along. So why does this all matter to you? What's the big takeaway from this explainer? Well, if UFOs are intrinsically connected to consciousness, pure energy, and hidden dimensions, then humanity's entire understanding of existence might just be incomplete. If these phenomena are indeed traversing overlapping realities, then everything we thought we knew about physics, the mind, and our place in the universe is about to undergo a radical, real game-changer of a transformation. Because this phenomenon forces us to look inward, just as much as we look upward. In a universe of billions of drifting galaxies, moving through endless darkness, I want you to consider this final staggering thought. What if human beings are not alone within reality itself? To assume humanity is the only intelligence out there might just be our greatest illusion. Somewhere, just beyond the narrow limits of our ordinary perception, across a frequency we're only just beginning to tune into, something may already be watching. Thanks for joining me on this journey.